Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, guys. K1GMM.
Who is that?
It's Steve over here in Vermont. K1GMM.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing? We're getting our heads blown off over here. Hopefully, everything's okay on your end. I think that's John and Greg and the rest of you guys. Yeah, we're just hunkered down. And if I disappear, it's because the power went out. We got a good blow going up through the valley with some very wet snow coming down. So, yeah, if all of a sudden I disappear, it's because everything's dead on this side. Good morning, everybody. K1GMM, Steve, Vermont.
Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Hey, and I just went outside and swept, Rich, and it is a wet snow. I was surprised.
Yeah, if you're a kid, it's a great snow for making snowballs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good morning, Rich, Greg, John, and Steve. I hear you, but very, very lightly.
Hey, good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Rick, and I got your video this morning.
And
Yeah, 1 to 4% is what I saw on there, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Peter? Greg? What's up, guys?
Not much of a load.
Slurping my coffee. I figured I'd push a stream to screw tube for
now I'm telling you, these Ryzen CPUs
a little bit.
have been all over the Intels.
Yeah, had I done more research before I bought this new computer, I may have considered one of those. And they did have them.
Playing a little ESSB this morning.
AMD versus Intel?
Yeah, AMD has come out with these Ryzen processors that are just blowing Intel out of the water.
Oh, yeah, you ought to see a chart of AMD's stock price in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone way up. And that's one of the thread rippers that I'm running. I'm not even running the top Ryzen, John. I'm running the 7s. The 9s are the top in the Ryzen series.
Yeah, you were halfway down the list. I saw that.
Oh my God, the thread rippers are just astronomical at computing stuff, but geez, they're pricey,
Signals are a little weak this morning, but
that top of the line thread ripper with 64 cores is.
see if I can get my audio balanced here.
Just for the CPU.
Hey, how are those cost-effective wise? Price comparison between the Intels, are they in the same ballpark?
They're similar, but bang for the buck, I think AMD's are a better value.
KG5 USB. Hey, no, I bounce back and forth. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. UBB, KG5 UBB. I'll probably because what I found is Twitch is very good, and it's very.
At all this morning, Steve?
Oh yeah. Your signals were better earlier, but all of you have gotten fairly light. So I'm assuming I'm not pushing a lot of power, only about 400 out. So I think I think the band will hopefully get a little bit better here. But you guys were booming in here a little bit ago, but she's kind of squirrely on me. Go ahead, John. I think that was John. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, evidently the path to Virginia must be not optimal.
Yeah, it ain't. I don't think it's quite there yet. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pushing a stream to YouTube right now, and I'm gonna just leave it running here. So hopefully things get a little better and everybody kind of comes up. What do you got planned for the weekend, John? What's going on?
Not a thing. I know Karen's going to be doing some painting around here. She's been painting everything, and she's feeling good, so she's just having at it. Other than that, I'm just trying to stay out of her way, Steve.
That's a good thing, dude. That's what I do with a wife. I've seen the wife pissed off, I would say, 3 times. We've been together since 1989, and I've seen her blow a seal I think it's 3 times since then. And I'll tell you what, dude, and it's been a long time since she's blown, and I'm the instigator. I'm the one that causes it, and I'm telling you, I don't want to go down that road again.
Yeah. Yeah, when she's feeling good, I cannot keep up with her. She's just a whirlwind. That's a good thing. That's all right.
Yep. Yeah. If you can get somebody else to do the heavy lifting, hey, that's a bonus.
Well, she knows that I can't stand the smell of paint. It physically makes me ill, so I get out of all those painting jobs.
My mother, my folks were house flippers, and I guess you'd call them developers, but mostly house flippers. They did build new houses, but they'd find an old dilapidated wreck and they'd fix it up, and about anywhere from 9 months to 2 years later, they'd sell it and go into another one and do the same thing over and over again. So I'd help them do a lot of painting, and my mother was always like, you are such a good painter. And dude, if there's one thing that I hate in this life is painting. I hate to paint, but I'm fast and very meticulous, and I can go fast and cut corners and cut lines and stuff like that. And tape was never in my wheelhouse. I never used tape, but I hate painting. I just hate it. And she's always like, you should have gone into painting or something like that. And I don't know how guys do that for a living. Over?
I don't either. I would be okay with a roller. Give me a nice flat surface where I can just really, lay it on.
Ooh, I didn't know that, Peter.
But the trim work.
Oh, I'm going to have to take a look at that one.
Taping it all off and being precise.
Sure looks purty when you're done, but it's a lot of work.
Yep.
Hey, Billy. Good morning. I'm back with a vengeance.
I think I'm going to make me a nice big breakfast this morning. Bacon, eggs, fried potatoes, toast, juice, and a vitamin just for good fortune.
Hey, speaking of stuff fried, any of you guys have an air fryer? My wife and I have been looking at one of those. We've been looking at a Ninja. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I was looking at it in Bed Bath & Beyond. Is that something anybody has, and do they actually work? Just out of curiosity.
I've never used one, so I couldn't tell you.
I haven't either, but I've been looking at them as well.
My wife's parents and my parents have them, and they love them.
Do they have what I would consider high? I know you can spend the high. You can get them for kind of a Swiss Army knife of they do all kinds of different things, toast and bake and air fryer all built into one. But are they? Are you better off going like your parents? And who else did you say had one? Are they just a dedicated air fryer, or do they kind of do a bunch of things?
The one my parents has is a toaster oven, convection oven, air fryer unit, kind of all in one. It's kind of like an overgrown toaster oven thing.
And it works good though, right?
Yeah, they love it. It's got a rotisserie in it for doing chicken.
That wouldn't be greasy enough for me.
Kind of takes all the fun out of it, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, that's where all the flavor is.
That's what the statins are for.
Well, you still have to have the oils in it so it doesn't dry out.
Give me some deep fried beer battered chicken any day.
NAQP. I'm gonna have to look at that sucker. Let's see if I can get the times, the startups and stuff for that. Hey, Glenn, I'm all over the place, dude. What do you do? What are you guys doing awake at this hour? What's up, Tim?
So, Steve, I'm wondering, did you ever get your rack audio EQ'd for your streaming?
I have not, John. I have I'm at a brick wall here because OBS will not recognize multiple audio sources, and the only way to get it running, see, I'm going to have to bring a separate feed, split the feed in OBS. What happened is that it's something to do with the Anon. Bringing the Anon audio in, because see, now I'm using an external sound card and the internal sound card, and yeah, I'm having a hard time with this. And the only way I found online to do it is through, what is it? Virtual Audio, VAC, and Voice Meter Banana, and I cannot get my head around that stuff. It will work if I could get that running, but I just can't seem to figure it out.
Well, maybe like a real simple approach, just splitting the output of the preamp, send one to the rack and send the other one right to your computer.
I thought of that, John, and I thought maybe what I should do is, I can do that, and because it's basically a 2-channel rack. So you just gave me an idea. So instead, what I do is I have a whole separate side of the rack. The second channels are all for the 7300, and I use that for events and DXing and stuff like that. So now what I'm thinking is maybe I should split the rack and say, the heck with the 7300, I'll just disengage, put certain things into bypass for the DX side, and feed the Anon and the 7300 with the same audio, but just hit the bypass on a couple devices to flatten it out some, and then use the second side to feed the stream audio. Duh. I didn't even think. Well, you just gave me an idea, so I'll give that a try. I think that'll work.
Yeah, that's an idea. You'll figure it out.
Greg can tell you how you can fix that.
I'm sitting here with bated breath and a notepad with a pen.
Yeah, how's that, Rick?
Oh, did Greg leave?
I don't know.
Oh, I figured
I heard my name.
And say something about the X-Air.
Oh,
Okay, I was multitasking. Someone call my name?
I hear a sales pitch coming up.
Yeah, you're being paged, Craig.
Well, put some fire in the wire there, Rick, and talk to me.
Well, I got fire in the wire. I was going to tell you to do the same thing. You're only a damn S8 here.
See, isn't that funny? Both of you have come up over here in Vermont. You're both banging in probably about, I didn't look. It sounds to me like easily 15 over, maybe possibly 20.
See, I can hear Steve better than I can hear Rick.
Yeah, well, I can barely hear you at all. I can hear Steve not real well, and I can hear John. The band just sucks again.
Hey, Andy, what's up? Hey, Greg.
Yeah?
Hey, really quick. We were just talking about, John had asked me if I had gotten the audio straightened out in the stream, and I said no. He said you have a fix for that because I'm pushing external gear to the Anon, and I take a feed from the rack to the internal sound card, which feeds the stream, and I'm running OBS, and I can't. I need to be able to, because I'm running an external sound card, and I'm running technically 2 sound cards to make this work. You cannot run 2 sound cards simultaneously in 2 different setups in OBS. So I need to be able to get the stream audio separate from the Anon, so I can re-EQ the stream audio and flatten it out. You know what I'm saying? So they all said that you have a fix for that, and I'm curious if you do. Go ahead.
I only got about a third of that, Steve, because you faded out on me but till the end I got that. I don't know what that fix would be. John, what kind of advice you giving Steve?
Well, it was Rick that said that you had the answer for that, and I'm still waiting for Rick to tell us what that was.
Oh, I was waiting for Greg to say all of that could be cured with an X-Air series.
And there's the sales pitch.
Oh. I'm missing half this conversation because I kind of lost a couple of you guys. But I tell you what, I'm going to get a cup of coffee, and when I'm gone, will you guys please fix the band so I don't have to put up with this when I get back? Okay?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'm actually
appreciate
going
it.
to take the dog for a walk, and hopefully by the time I get back, it comes up. John, you're the only one I'm hearing now, and you're way down from what you've normally been. The band's a total disaster.
Yeah, it's in bad shape right now.
Yeah, everybody's fading out on this end just in the past minute.
All right, I'll be back in a few at 8 SDR.
All righty.
Andy, yeah, we're all good. K1GMM.
N-U-9-N.
WD9N on the broken band.
I'm hearing you pretty good there, David.
Go figure, you took a dive here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, David. If you can hear me, K1GMM over here in Vermont. Steve.
I could hear you, but just barely.
Good morning, Charlie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, John, I've been hearing you pretty good all morning, but I can't hear nobody else. Only you and Greg. That's why I hesitated even saying anything. But you've been holding pretty steady down here in Texas. But anyway, good morning to you. Keep on doing Yoda.
Yeah, good morning, Charlie. How the heck are you this morning?
Jeez, Texas. You ain't gonna hear me.
Just another morning, John.
You ain't gonna hear me.
Got me a cup of
That's a
coffee
stretch
and,
for this
sitting down here drinking it. You know,
cloud
I
burner.
was sitting there waiting for you to tell Greg to bring you a cup.
I'm kind of bouncing around, Andy. I figured I'd push a stream back to
I should have mentioned that.
YouTube. A lot of subscribers, so I figured, I was checking to see.
Oh, I have some left in my cup yet, so I'm okay.
Let me roll this back a little bit.
You know, it won't hurt.
I was checking to see how many people would follow me to Twitch, and nobody did. And you know me, I'm kind of loyal. I try to be loyal to the subscribers. So this is the burner tin. This is the NVIS 80 meter antenna. So that's a pretty big stretch for this thing.
I'm not gonna stick around too long. I mean, them boys.
Boy, he's just barely bumping the meter from Texas, so he ain't gonna hear me. All these guys run big power, like Legal Limit.
Of course, I hear you. I hear Greg, and there was somebody else I heard, but that's myself, I can't hear a peep out of them down here in Texas.
Finally, a station I can hear.
Morning, Greg.
It's the 80 meter
Morning,
horizontal
Charlie. How are
loop.
you this morning?
Both of you to me.
I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, Paul. Good morning.
John, I woke up this
Good afternoon.
morning, I got about
Whatever, everybody.
12 cups of coffee in me and heading for some more.
Oh man, you're all set.
Yeah, we're running. I'm running 8K wide, just to give you guys a heads up.
So Charlie, brag on your weather.
8K wide and listening 8K wide. Most of these guys run about 8K.
We're sitting at 32 degrees, clear skies. It's going to be severe sunshine today. And
Boy, the band is
it's gonna be
crap.
64.
Total crap.
Very nice.
I looked for that, Andy. I'm not
Yeah,
exactly
damn
sure.
nice.
I thought I could. I'm not sure how to set that up. I'm going to have to look at that. Because I've heard that guys can stream over multiple platforms.
Happen.
Well, enjoy the break while you can, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm hibernating in the room with the heater on right now, trying to figure out what I want to do for the
Boy,
rest
he's
of
just
the day.
barely in there.
Yeah. I mean, 35, that's pretty nippy for Texas. Do you guys normally get that low?
Oh yeah. During January and February, it's nothing for us to get down to the mid to lower 20s.
These guys are usually 20, 25 over, and he's about an S9. That's low for him, for these guys.
Yeah, wow. We have not yet been below zero here, and that's very unusual for January.
I'll be daggone.
It's been, typically 20s, 30s in the day, and teens at night.
I'll keep my 20s.
Yeah.
Man, I cannot believe you don't hear that speaker in my Decom audio either. I am tearing that speaker to pieces.
I don't hear it.
That's pretty amazing. All right, well, let me get out of here. I know y'all got a group of guys in there, and they wanna get on talking this morning. But I appreciate you picking me up. And Greg, shame on you for not bringing John another cup of coffee. He was so polite bringing you one earlier. Anyway, catch y'all later. Y'all take care. If I know you'll do it.
I brought him the same cup he brought me. Don't let him kid you.
Oh, so he just yanked my chain, huh?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, we each give each other nothing.
I'm learning, I'm taking notes down here. I got my big chief tablet out, my number 2 pencil, and I'm taking notes, Greg.
Well, don't you stop, because I'll need you to refer those notes back to me, because I'll forget.
No problem, Greg. I got them archived down here.
By the way, Charlie, I know David, WD9N, is copying you quite well, so you may want to say hi to him on your way out.
Oh, hello, David. Go ahead and let me see if I can get you pulled out down here.
Yeah, you're stronger to John, or stronger to me than what John is here. You're probably one of the louder ones at the moment. Are you copying me worth a hoot?
Yeah, I can hear you out there. You're not quite as strong as John is, but I most definitely do hear you, sir.
Okay, very good. Well, good morning. Have a good day. It's still early out there for you guys. I'm only showing 10 till 6 here, but I'm also only running a 100-watt station here, so that doesn't help things for me. WD9N.
Oh, well, hell, if you're only doing 100 watts, David, you're doing great. And, it's
Hey,
kinda
GVD, how you doing, man? Good to see you in here.
schedule.
All is well with everybody.
Considering I rolled out
You all behaving yourselves?
this morning and come out here and started tinkering around in the shop. But man, if I was to go down to 100 watts, you probably wouldn't even hear me. So bravo on the signal. But anyway, let me get out of here. Y'all take care and enjoy. And have a good one. And we'll catch y'all later. If I know you'll do.
Hey, send my regards to Charlie down there, from Steve in Vermont.
Okay there, Charlie. I I didn't quite catch what you said, Steve. Did you have a message for Charlie?
Yeah. Send my regards. I can hear him pretty good, but he's not going to hear me. I don't think. I need a little bit more fire. Not bad. S9 into Vermont. Go ahead.
Charlie, that's Steve, and he wanted to say howdy to you. That's K1GMM in Vermont. He's hearing you just fine, Charlie.
I'll be dadgum. I wonder why I'm having such a hard time pulling him out down here. I don't get that. But anyway, good morning, Steve. And I apologize for not being able to hear you down here.
That's okay, Charlie. He's about an S9, but I have a very low noise floor. He's just bumping, he's just bumping it, but I can hear him with the headphones, no problem. 7-3, have a good day.
Charlie, Steve has a very low noise floor, so he's able to pull you out with no problem. So he said 7-3.
All right. I appreciate it. 73 to you, Steve, and hopefully one day we can connect up. But anyway, take care and enjoy. Keep out of you.
Yeah, and stop back again, Charlie.
Oh, John, I'm usually down here every morning listening. I just normally don't have everything fired up and turned on.
Yeah, he's
but,
just tickling,
I turned it all
just
on.
tickling the pan adapter.
Taking your copious notes.
You know, I'm taking so many of them. I'm going through at least a couple number 2 pencils a week.
We got
It's getting pretty difficult.
heavy wet snow coming down this morning here,
Yeah, it's got to be a number 2, huh?
and a lot of wind.
That was
Tremendous
our requirement
wind.
in grade schools to have a number 2 pencil. Now I think it's laptop computers.
A Chromebook or a tablet.
Okay, we are not at gray. We're gray lines approaching, so it's still dark.
That's right.
I think signals will get better once gray line starts to hit and band tightens up, because these guys are about, I don't know, 500 miles away generally. A little bit more for John. He's down in Virginia.
On something from Google so that they can spy on everything.
They do collect a lot of data.
I suspect way more than we even realize.
Guys, just to let you know, the spy server is back up, but I'm dealing with a local noise issue. It's running on an NFED, which is going to get converted back over to what I had up last year. It's basically going to be a kinked vertical with a 49-to-1, which will give me. I've already checked it, and it's 3-to-1 or less across the entire band from 80 to 6 meters.
I tried to fix the band, but it didn't work.
And
That's all right. You tried. That's all that counts.
yeah, band is
Now, you're
crap.
coming up a little bit here, though.
Boy, he's always the strongest.
Yeah,
in
you
there.
as well, but the other stations are
He's
not.
20 over.
Other than Charlie and you, I lost David, for example.
Oh,
Yeah, band is horrid.
he's barefoot.
Oh, yeah, but normally I don't lose him too often.
Dave, I can't remember. What's the deal on the amp?
I'm pretty sure the tubes are shot in it. I don't know. I haven't done any diagnostics on it. And it really wouldn't matter. Well, I shouldn't say that. I could run it here.
And I am on the Anon, by the way, guys, this morning, the 200.
To handle running an amplifier.
Okay.
As the 7300 can't go that wide. Oh, wicked. Wicked static crashing. Jeez. Board. Oh. Hey, one of the guys on the stream, Andy, just let me know that we had a CME last night. And so that may be the reason why the band is chewed up pretty bad. I haven't looked at space weather and SWPC this morning yet, so it'll be interesting to see where the indices are. But looks like a CME hit last night, so we'll see. Go ahead. I don't know, whoever can hear me. Take it for what it's worth, K1GMM.
Boy, I just about lost you, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to grab a coffee. I'm going to let things settle and kind of marinate here, and maybe things will... I've got the gray line map up, and we're still a little bit off a gray line, so maybe things will get a little better, at least on the eastern seaboard where I'm at. So I don't know how far out we are. I'm looking at it right now. So maybe things will tighten up, and it'll get a little bit better. I don't know. I'll be back. K1GMM.
All right, Steve. There was a CME event last night. Is that what he said?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he was. Well, they're so light I can't tell the voices apart. But the one that you said you could just tell somebody was there.
Yeah, just a little bit more of a note. Hang on. Let me... let's see here. Just another note, quick. One of the guys, Tim G5TM, just told me that there's a lot of very short skip on 20 and 40 over in the UK right now. So yeah, things are pretty screwed up there. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hopefully things get better. K1GMM.
Yeah, okay, I heard that, Steve.
Okay, I'm going to let things sit, you guys. I'm going to head upstairs and grab some more coffee. Ooh, oh my gosh. I am really hot for some reason into this thing. What just changed? Huh. Must be something to do with the headphones. I don't know. All right. I guess I'm just going to let things run here. And if you guys are around, cool, maybe come back in 15 minutes or something. And let me know how everybody is in the chat, what you guys been doing, if you've been working on anything new, because I know it's been a long time. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah, John.
Do you see that carrier on 23?
Yeah.
It's been there for a while. I went down and was listening to that. It's really, really interesting sounding.
Well, it must be modulating or something. I see it bouncing around on amplitude quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it's just conditions. Just a simple carrier, but it's changing its amplitude.
Yeah, frequently and on a pretty rapid pace, it looks like.
I don't see any sidebands on it though.
I don't either, but it varies between a couple dB over the floor noise all the way up to 15 dB over the floor noise here.
Is it still?
Yeah, pretty
Is
much.
it still broke?
Yep.
What the heck did you do while I was gone?
Been sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
Did you try to reboot it?
My thumbs?
No, the band.
How do you do that?
I don't know. That just sounded good.
Actually, you come up quite a bit, Rick.
Yeah, so have you, Greg.
I was on the internet trying to find any latest information on this corona mass ejection, but I couldn't find anything current.
I haven't looked in a few days. Who are you looking at, or who are you watching or looking at?
Oh, I went to the NOAA site, NASA site, Space News site. And I didn't see late breaking news about anything.
Did you check, what's her name? Samantha Sco, I think that's her name. The space weather woman.
No, I like her though. She's pretty cool.
She's really cool.
I'll bet her boyfriend's a real geek.
What give you that impression? If anybody's going to have anything on it, I would say it would probably be her. See if I can find it.
So, Greg, how's your Tito's supply doing?
It must be pretty good because I haven't tapped it, I don't think, since New Year's Eve.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Heck,
Hey,
I
Billy.
don't know.
I don't know if you're still in there, man. No, well, Billy, if you're set up to get notifications, if you're still in there, man,
Screwdrivers with this.
you should be notified when I think I'm gonna probably just move back to YouTube here.
I mean, you haven't bunny your Russian
And,
standard yet?
Information is power,
Do that.
and I think it would behoove me to completely pull the plug on YouTube. So I think I'm gonna just kind of sit right here on YouTube.
Whichever one makes the best.
I'll have some more stuff coming, I promise. We got some heavy weather today, so I won't be working outside today. But yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion, guys. I need to apologize, but just trying to figure things out here.
She doesn't have any updates since the 10th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try something, guys. So let me see if I can make this work here.
You know, for a long time, hams could depend on the.
You're gonna hear some noise. Yeah, anybody on the stream, you're gonna hear some noise. So bear with it. You'll probably hear a pop, snap, crackle, pop, and stuff like that. So just disable the audio for a minute.
Cycles are all but gone. We're not following an 11-year pattern anymore.
Hey, and by the way, just to give you guys a heads up,
Everything's all screwed up.
can
So I think a lot of our
the heck is that noise?
is due to what's happening, on the sun, obviously.
Got all kinds of weird stuff happening here. So, anybody still on the stream right now? Can you chime into the chat and just let me know you're
Maybe
there?
the sun just gave up on us and said to help with you guys.
I haven't seen the sun in a long time. Perhaps it has COVID too.
Yeah, it broke out here a couple days in a row. We did have some sunshine.
Nobody's still on the stream?
Hours.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, it's been pretty gray.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Anyways, okay, Andy, you're still on stream. Andy, right now, kill the audio on the stream because I'm gonna make a lot of noise here. And if you're on a big system, it's gonna thump and do all kinds of nasty stuff. So you guys, heads up.
I'll take it.
Okay. Hey, Don. Good morning, man. You guys kill the audio, all right, right now,
Looks like
because I'm going to pull a plug on something and then reconnect it.
We got a very, very light dusting. That was it.
Yeah, it's still snowing here. We've got maybe a quarter-inch here. Real wet stuff. Oh yeah, my SWR went up a little. I gotta fix that.
Oh, you're going to be a couple degrees warmer than it is going to be here. $35 for the high.
Ooh, that looks better.
majority, I think it was like 85% of the hires was
Check 1 2.
rehires.
Check.
And the CEO blew up, and because they want, like every other company, to add diversity to their ranks. So they instituted a rule: once you leave, you're done. You are prevented from ever being rehired.
Well, that's a good thing. Then you're not tempted when you hear about how happy Jeff is.
We'll see. I'm guessing that this will last three months to maybe 6 months, but we'll see what happens.
Bummer.
I just sent you guys a picture.
Looks like the only way I can fix
Are you
this
up to
is
it again, John?
with an XR12 or
No, not that. No, I was just sending out a picture of my amp view. The screen capture.
Now, okay, so I'm trying. I got to get this picture bigger. But are you doing the whatever the feedback into the radio with one of those of Tyler's boxes?
Oh yes.
Okay,
See if I
I'm
can
not
get my-
doing that. I did
see if
for
I
a
can get my
while,
audio
but
balanced
honestly,
with what's
I
going
maybe
on.
it was just a
There we
neophyte.
go.
Didn't understand how to read the amp view.
That's
but I
better,
didn't see
isn't it,
any
guys?
benefit, so I quit
I don't
doing
want to
it
be
that
too
way.
loud to you guys.
Well, with the sampled signal, it lets pure signal do a comparison before and after the amp, so it can correct what's going on at the amp.
Right. So what is this telling us? What do these lines mean where they deviate from the center, the red and the blue?
So, just a quick statement. A ham radio operator's work is never done, is it? Seems like the station here is always in a state of flux. It's always in a state of flux. It's, things are ever constantly evolving, and it's just maddening, man. I do have to get the stream audio straightened out. You guys let me know if the stream audio is acceptable to you. And I'm talking about my audio, not the transceiver. So if my audio is total crap, let me know.
It's interesting.
I'm trying to get a way to split the audio into the stream so that I can control both of them independently.
On the top, they come together. I wonder why that is.
I'm going to use you guys to help me. How's that? I'm assuming because see what I have going. Hey James,
Folks that were pretty powerful.
you guys let me know if the microphone, my audio is good. Sounds good here. Is it too boomy? Because what I'm using is the EQ to the Anon for the ESSB Voodoo stuff, and that's being piped to the stream. And I really want it. I want it flatter and more natural sounding. And because John, he watched a stream on Twitch. This was a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me that
Nice and quiet there, Rich.
boy, that's a good signal. And he said, if you could separate the audio from the transceiver and the stream, it would sound better. Because what you have to do with the transceiver to get this kind of audio over the air is to really, you got to push. Even in a non, you have to, kind of push it pretty hard in certain parts of the spectrum.
On the other side of the house, and for some reason I can't get that as quiet or whatever. I don't think it's given you a report yet as to what your signal and well, if you don't have it on all the time, I don't think it will.
Good morning, Dave.
Hey John, how you did?
How's it doing? Fine.
Bueno.
Good morning, David.
Hey, Rick, Michael, yeah, everyone else is coming in good on the radio.
The only way I could be doing any better, Dave, is if I had a black mic.
Oh, yeah.
So Dave, how long, or when do I find out the signal noise ratio or rating or whatever?
I don't know. If you hook it up, it just gives it to you right away. I don't think so. I think their system kind of goes through and scans it and then gives it a
25
rating.
over.
But I'm not sure if you'll get that unless the thing is like left on all the time, maybe. You know, I can only get my signal noise ratio around 25 or 26. That's it. Now, I see a lot that are worse. You know, they're 8 or 9 or 10 or 12 or 6 or awful numbers. Moss has got 31 or something. And I was just commenting on yours. It seemed like you're on your antenna there. It sounded like it was a good 35 or better. You know, it's at least as good as Moss's or better. But then again, like mine would be fine if I just put it on one of my dipoles out in the pasture. You know, it would probably come in at, 30, 35, 40, I don't know. But with this other antenna, it's not as good.
Yeah, I got a little bit of work to do on it. I'd probably put up a dedicated antenna for it, or a different antenna. So I'd like to have a vertical, but anyhow, it's been pretty interesting. My GPS does not work. It simply doesn't work, and it's the antenna, that active antenna that they include with it. I don't think that's working.
Yeah, I wonder what's happened. My actual, GPS SDO business, that on the radio here doesn't seem to want to lock up, so maybe that antenna's gone bad out there too. It's a cheap thing. I've got it sitting out on the ledge of the window, and the thing just keeps going click, back for it. It doesn't seem to want to lock up anymore. So I'm probably off frequency somehow. I don't know.
What'd you do with the Kiwi GPS antenna? Is it in the shack there?
It's over near the window. It's on the inside. And it's working. As you can tell, if you go to it, it says that the GPS is hooked up.
Yeah. Yeah, mine won't work at all. In fact, it works just as well.
Very strange noise on the band this morning. Look at that. Jeez, I wonder if that's snow static.
Yeah.
That sounds like snow static. Because it's snowing pretty good here.
I think the one that came with the GPS unit for the Anons, I think it's the same cheap type of antenna, so I'm going to swap them and see if the antenna just went bad.
I think that's snow static.
Yeah, but it did sound good. But if I would hook up my Kiwi to dipole out in the pasture, it would be improved over my normal thing. I don't know what the noise is out there. I've got some sort of a cockamamie fan, supposedly a receive fan dipole type thing that I got a while ago, and that's what I'm using. And
that is snow static.
I put
almost positive.
I wound a little 9-to-1 balun and put a long wire in there, and all sorts of crap came in. Maybe the wire was too long, but I think the 50 kW stations fit 12, 15 miles away were overwhelming it.
Yeah, I think that's probably true with mine. I can't put the antenna tuner in bypass. I need to have that in there. Otherwise, the broadcast stations are just overloading the front end.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun to play with. I'm just doing all this experimentation because if I can get it right, I'll bring one down to Mexico if we ever go back down there again and just set it up and leave it run.
Did you ever try to put a magnetic loop on that thing?
No.
I see where guys do that though.
I've never played with those. I don't know much. I don't know enough about birth and babies or magnetic loops.
Good morning.
Scotty.
No, Scott.
I'm good. How's everybody? I'm Rich and Dave and John. Bueno.
I've been gone a couple weeks. I saw the emails about Greg.
Yeah?
Greg passed.
Oh, the X-Greg, yes. Yeah, I guess he was pretty bad health.
Morning, Scott.
Need to get my phones on. Who was that?
I don't know. Who was it?
There we go. I didn't have my phones on. Good morning, Rick.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, we noticed you missing there for a few weeks there, Scotty. Good to hear you.
Yeah, seems like there's always something getting in the way. Just busy.
Was that work-related, Scott?
Family related. Last Friday, we take care of my mother-in-law. She lives here. She had a stroke Friday night, a minor one, and so there was a lot of stuff going on last weekend, so I wasn't able to get in here.
How's she doing?
Pretty good now. Transferring her to a rehab place for about a week so you can get her straight back. A week in bed for her, it just knocks her. She's got nothing. And she wasn't very physically strong to begin with. But she had the stroke. They went in and they did a stent. And carotid, it was a blockage in her carotid. Stented that. And it was and then after surgery, it was just too much, and she had a heart attack, and they brought her back from that. But she's doing okay now. So now I got to do a little physical rehab on her, and then she'll come home. Probably should be home in a week, I'd guess.
Yeah. Well, I hope she has a speedy recovery.
Yeah, she's a sweet Christian lady. She's 82 and never been a very physical person, so doesn't have much muscle strength.
Hey, Chris. Good morning, man.
Yeah.
Good. How are you doing, man? We're just hanging out on 3630.
So what's been going on around here? Anything exciting?
Not really.
No.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rich.
Well, Greg,
Oh, that's Paul. Boy, he's pretty light. He's down in Florida. That is really light. He's not going to hear me. I can barely hear him. Jump down here and see what's going on with the goons. So big signal there. See if Jerry, one of the guys, are around.
Well, it sounds like you guys are all eating pretty darn good down there. Yeah, after you get the second shot, what do they say about a week or two before it's fully effective? Yeah, there's some time. I heard him say it on
Band's
TV.
gone short. Can't
Don't
hear those
recall
guys.
how long you got to wait. So, well, that's good that you guys got that. That's really good, and I'm anxious to get ours up here. But I don't think it will be. It'll be another month is what it's looking like. Probably the middle of February if we're lucky. Hey, I sent you an email of a two-channel oscilloscope. The price is unbelievable. I can't believe it's true. Go ahead.
That's snow static. Got snow static on the wire, man. I'm gonna have to yank the plug at some point here. Isolate that antenna. I don't want that crap coming back into the station.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a while here. Probably not till middle of February anyway, at best. Frank, check that email I just sent you.
Hey, good morning, guys. K1GMM.
Hey, good morning, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, good. I know Frank and Paul are in there. I can't really hear Paul too good, and I can hear Frank just a little bit, but send him my regards, man. Hope all is well. Jerry, with you and the wifey. I got a I've got it mostly filtered out, but I got a lot of snow static on the loop, and starting to get a little bit concerned. So I may pull the plug here shortly. No bleed resistor, and I got to push that thing to ground. So I don't want that crap coming back into the shack here. But that's what it sounds like to me. Some heavy wet snow coming down with high wind, and usually the snow and the wind is not a good combination there. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. Yeah, it's coming down here now, a little bit of a mix. So I don't know. It's not supposed to really amount to anything, but it looks like it's going to make things messy. Let's put it that way. Temperature down here right now is about 31 degrees, Steve.
Yeah. Have you been outside yet? Is it actually snowing? I suspect we may lose power if this keeps up, because I can see across the street on the mountain. They're saying they had a winter storm warning posted for northern Vermont for elevations above 2,000 feet. And I can tell you it's snowing here, and I know 2,000 feet and up, they got to be getting crushed right now. So that heavy wet snow, I'm going to kind of start putting things into place in case the power goes out for a while.
Yeah, I got my generator outside. It's been outside for the past 2-3 weeks. I never put it away. It's all hooked up. So I think as soon as it gets light, I'm going to go out there and start it and run it for a little bit. But yeah, I guess we could get up to about 3 to 7 inches with winds about, they're saying up to 35 miles per hour. But, you get that wet snow on the trees, and doesn't take much to bring things down.
No, you're right. I left my generator out for about, a year or two. It was undercover. But you got me thinking, I don't even think I can get the generator into position to hook it up. That's another thing I got to do here this morning. I got to get outside. I got some crap that's sitting around in front of where the generator goes in and undercover. It's set up to run there. and it's kind of open, but it's undercover, so the rain and the snow doesn't hit it. And dude, I got thinking just now. I bet you that stuff's frozen into the ground. I may not even be able to get it out without destroying it. I'm screwed. So there's another job for me today. Let me take a standby, and you can pick it back up with Paul and Frank, and send them my regards there if they can't hear me. Jerry, K1GMM.
Yeah, okay, Steve. Frank and Paul, I wonder if you guys got a copy or did have a copy on Steve there. Go ahead, Frank.
Andy, what's the Discord? What is that in reference to? A link to Josh Discord? I don't see any link there. Did you post a link in the chat, or did you send it via email? Okay. There is no link there, Andy. I do not see a link in the chat.
Yeah, I just about lost him on that last transmission.
Yeah, there's no link there, Andy. I don't see a link.
Steve, can you hear me now?
Oh, heck yeah, man. Good morning. And say hello to Paul for me, man. I could not pull him out of there. He's in there, I can tell. But yeah, how's it going, Frank? What's up?
Oh, not too bad. Yeah, this time of day is just a little bit too late. It was pretty good early, only about 15 minutes ago. And Jerry, when you first came in, I was tapping you the best I've heard you in a long time. Even, of course, this morning we went over to 160, and I couldn't hear you here on 75 early, but 160 was good. Doing okay, Steve. I just had a stress test done yesterday, one of those Nuki pet stresses, they call it. And I guess I got a new cardiologist, and I think they're just trying to get a baseline. She is on me. I don't anticipate any issues. So.
Andy, email's good on QRZ. It's good on QRZ. Just hit QRZ and grab that email.
Anyway, we're doing great. Got up to 72 yesterday. Hello. What do you guys? I can't believe you guys are living up there.
Yeah,
get
no
up
kidding.
in the 60s today. So, well, maybe only around 60. A cold day, real cold day. So, back to you, Steve, and you can pass it to Jerry. WT1B.
Wow. Well, you've been busy, and yeah, I started laughing, Frank. I can't believe I'm living here either. What a miserable place to live. I'll tell you what, though, it could be worse. Unusually warm. Well, not really unusually, because we do get, fluctuations around the freezing mark, but nothing as far as bone-crushing cold yet. And I have a feeling we're going to pay for it. You know what it's like. You were up on the mountain there. I mean, 20, 25 below is not unusual here. So none of that. I don't think we've had any temperatures. I'm trying to think what the lowest temperature might have been. Maybe in the mid-teens, 16, something like that. But it looks like we got some temperatures coming, maybe 12, maybe a low of 12 or something, with a high of 28, 29. But that's like freaking beach weather, dude, compared to what it could be like. So you ain't going to hear me complain. Stress test. Yeah, I went to an endocrinologist yesterday, and it was not a happy day. I've been on a new diet since I was in the ICU over Christmas, and things have snapped into shape, but I'll tell you what, dude, I am a freaking mess. I am a mess, and I'm a freaking heart attack stroke waiting to happen. So, a little scary, to put it mildly. My A1C, I'm not even going to tell you what it was, but yeah, I'm a freaking time bomb. Over.
Oh wow. Well, I'm feeling for you. Geez, that's too bad. Is this kind of all of a sudden happening, or has this been kind of getting this way over the years? I've been pretty lucky, really. I've had quite a few operations. Like my A1C runs 5.6. I mean, I don't have diabetes. I've got a little bit of high blood pressure, but I take pills for it. So far, knock on wood, I'm 81. We're hanging in there. The doctor said to me the other day, says, go play some golf. So, oh boy, I don't know. It's that still hurts there where he put those rods and pins in. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to get out and whack the ball around for a little. Maybe go and play 9 holes with the boys. And we'll see what happens, just to see if my limitations are. But I'm feeling for you. I hope they get to it before it gets to you. Put it that way. You get these problems solved. Go ahead, Jerry, then you run it back up. WT1B.
Yeah, okay. That's W1JWC in the group. Steve, well, I hope everything pulls together for you there, and you get things under control. I tell you, you don't want to go down the road of a stroke. That is a very, very bad place to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I told my wife, I said, if anything happens to me like that, just step on my throat and finish it off, because that's just all bad, So it's a mad scramble right now. Medication has been modified, and I have to go in for blood work up at the hospital. I think on Monday. I'm going to try to do it on Monday. It's not an appointment, but they already have me in the system, and I guess all I have to do is walk in and tell them what I'm there for, and they'll pull it up and they'll just take the blood, and then they'll do their thing. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's concerning, to put it mildly. And to answer your question, Frank, yeah, this is from what they told me in the hospital. They said this is not something that happened suddenly. Even though what put me into ICU happened suddenly, in a period of 2 days. But the build up to it was probably over a period of years. And so it's, but I ain't going to harp on that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's funny because since I overhauled my diet, I pretty much wiped out all the sugar. No sugar, a whole new diet, very low carb, no sugar. And I'll tell you what, man, since I've done that, you'd never believe it. I feel like $1 million. I mean, I was out, 2 days this past week, working all day outside. Yesterday, I pulled the wheels, swapped over the tires on the CC, put the snow tires on, and I just cracked away on that. It took me a while. Because it was warm and the jack was sinking into the ground, so I had to go find a steel plate to put the jack on so it would provide a decent base for it so I could actually get the car up in the air. And I mean, I feel great, but that A1C, that's freaking dangerous, man. That's what I mean. That's just leading down a road of destruction. That's really bad. Try doubling that number. Whoever said they were 5.6, that's where I should be. Yeah, double that, and there you go. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, that's up there. Yeah, well, watch your diet, like you say. You'll notice things change pretty quick. Are you a big soda drinker, Steve? With sugar? Go ahead.
Negative. Never really liked soda. However, I partied hard, dude. I was a big partier. I drink. I don't anymore. The past year, I would say, that's not even really true. I would say 2 or 3 years. The most I'd have is maybe a glass of scotch, one. I'd have maybe a Corona or two, or a light beer or something. So I went through that period. This was about a decade, 10 to 15 years ago. Man, dude, I could put down some alcohol. And we're talking nasty stuff. You know, I grab I grab a pint of SoCo or a fifth of SoCo, and I drank that straight, man, just on ice. And we're not talking the lightweight stuff. We're talking the 100 proof stuff. And I would, or a fifth. I'd buy a fifth of that, and I'd head down to the camper, and we'd play horseshoes, and I would smoke cigars, and oh yeah, dude, that's what I mean. You get what what you put in is what you get out, and I played really hard. I would say up until about 4 or 5 years ago, but that set the stage. That's what they were telling me in the hospital. All of that behavior set the stage for what is now.
Really? Wow. So let me see if I have it. Yeah, I guess it's probably a point of no return. But hopefully you can get it under control and maintain a certain level. And I think maybe that's where you're at. And hopefully, as long as you watch your diet, get your exercise in, eat the right kind of foods, like I said, diet, and just don't go overboard. My body's changed. I mean, I was always my cholesterol was always running 240. I've seen it as high as 280. Like I say, my A1C is 5.6 now, and my cholesterol is around 129. Last time I had it done, and all the LDLs and the other one, and they're all well within the boundaries.
Hey James, how's it going, man? Good morning.
Being good. So I'm even I'm still taking is it Zocor? I think that's what it is. Slovastatin or one of the stats. I can't remember. I'm still taking 40 milligrams, and I actually asked my doctor this time around. It's just because my cholesterol is so low. I said, "Oh, do I need to cut back?" He says, "Well, just give it. Let's give it another go around, and we'll just watch it, and we'll see if it stays low." So, other than that, I'm just falling apart, Steve. The body,
Thanks, Andy, by the way.
Bones and oh God, I've had bone spurs and stuff. And those kind of problems have been more than the other stuff. So I hope the best for you. Just hang in there, and
I don't know. It's only been about two weeks. 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
James. Okay, K1GMM. Well, at least the other stuff won't kill you. That are they having you? I may have asked you this already, but are they having you do a lot of stretching and stuff? Do you need to kind of stretch along with your physical therapy to kind of get the mobility back in your muscles? Frank, go ahead.
Oh, big time. Yeah, the stretching. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing maybe 90% stretching. And then above and beyond that...
James, I'm not sure what it was. I just had it checked yesterday before the hospital visit.
And he'll press...
I don't even want to know, dude. I almost died. Actually,
but I know he's doing me good.
Actually, my doctor told me I should be dead. So my card was not ready to be punched yet. I'll just say that.
Taking the stretching exercises to the limit, really. To the point where I get pretty sore after. It takes me a couple of days to break, get back in there. I'm doing it twice a week now. I got to do it for 12 weeks, and we'll see what happens. Go ahead.
Wow, yeah. Well, have you swung a club yet? Even taken it out and tried to give a swing? Take a swing over?
I had a 4-iron in the backyard, probably about 170.
Yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it, Peter?
3 balls, and I couldn't make a full turn on it because I could feel it was creeping up on me. But I haven't taken a full turn, but I've taken a few half swings.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, well, just go easy, man. Don't be. You sound, Jerry. Is he a bull in a china closet? Is he that type of person, or is he, because that's kind of the way I am. I just, gloves off, no matter how I feel. I can't, I cannot, dude, I don't understand how I am even alive. I really don't. They say that when your time is up, there's virtually nothing you can do to prevent it. You know what I'm saying? The card gets punched, your ticket gets punched, and it's lights out. You're done. And remember, we got that 40 and 38.5 inches of snow. You should have seen what I did, and I was so sick that week before Thanksgiving. Christmas. It happened that week. I was so sick, Jerry. Oh my God. I cannot believe I'm not dead. I really thought I was going to die. And then all hell really broke loose. I would say a day after that, a day and a half. And that's when I ended up in ICU. And I don't know. What's Frank really like? Is he? You think he's going to take it easy, or is he going to go out and do something stupid like I would?
Knowing Frankie's going to be out on the golf course pretty soon there. Let's see. I have no amplifier. I wonder what happened here.
Jeez, you're banging in here. 20 over easy.
Yeah, you're a little bit down here, Jerry. I got to tell you a quick story, Steve, but I'm not going to finish it. Let me see if I got.
Yeah, Peter, it's a freaking miracle, I'm telling you.
Happened in my life. We're playing a job one night with me and my daughter, and I get out and it's an icy road, and I stop.
And I'm not overhyping that either.
The hill with the 3/4 ton pickup, we had a plow on it and everything, and I went out. I stopped the truck halfway up a hill, and I told Beth, I said, I can't drive. You better drive, because we were drinking some White Russians after the job. I got out of the truck, slipped on the ice, and I fell under the truck. The truck rolled over both of my legs, and she had to go catch the truck before it went off a cliff. It's a long story. I'll tell you the end someday.
Holy cow, dude. Wow. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Yeah, you are that type of person. Jeez, man. I don't know if Jerry's got Jerry, you get sorted yet? It's funny, that amp you have, Jerry, I've heard other people say that the fan, like right out of the gate, out of the factory, didn't you tell me you modified the fan in that amplifier, right? It was like a freaking jet engine taking off, hopping right off the desk there. I was listening to somebody else. This is one or two other people in the past couple of weeks saying the same thing about that particular amplifier. They're all talking. If that's, I think you were the one that was telling me that, right, Jerry?
Oh yeah, out of the box, I wouldn't want to have the amplifier and the power supply sitting here in the same room because the fans are loud. They're small fans. I think they're only 80 centimeters or whatever they are, and there's 4 of them, and they seem to have gotten a little louder since I bought the amp 10 years ago. But I did put I put a regulator in there to drop the voltage down to about 7 volts, and I put a little switch underneath the amp where I can just flip the switch and put the full voltage on them. Most people do it by putting a resistor in series with the fan. Yeah, you can get away with that, but
Randy, you're up early,
the nice
dude.
thing about using a voltage regulator is the fan can still get the amount of current it needs to start. You start putting a series resistance in there, and then you may affect the starting capability of the fan. But anyway, the regulator works good. It drops it down to about 7, and they're pretty whisper quiet right now. I mean, I can still hear them, but they're very, very, very low level. So anyway, well, you talk about things that Frank has done over the years. I think, Frank, my favorite story is the time that you and John Kopinski were making speaker cabinets, and you took your 12-inch speakers, put them on the plywood, traced them out, cut the round hole, then went to mount the speaker, and it fell.
Oh, this is funny as heck, man.
See, what really I wanted to do is, that was my excuse to go buy bigger speakers, Jerry.
That is funny as heck, man. You told me that before, and I've actually done that. We're talking a long time ago, before I even knew how to use a power tool. It was funny. I remember I slapped the speaker on it and I traced the outside ring of the speaker and went to put the speaker in. It fell right through the hole. I went, "Oh, you cheese whacker."
Yeah, that stuff happens. You know, because of my expertise in carpentry, then I went on to build my own home. See.
Oh my gosh! Did your doors you didn't overcut the holes for the door casings, did you, or the window casings? Jerry, you probably cut the hole too big in the side of the house. Went to put the window in, and it fell right through into the inside of the house. Classic.
No, only once or twice. Let me see, Jerry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I actually got to give him credit, Steve. He did a really nice job on that house. Come out really good. Well, then there was the time, Frank, where you had to replace a door in one of the apartments you were living in. I think Missy did the door, and so you went and bought a new door, and you brought it over here so we could trim it down. And we decided that my table saw needed a new blade. So we went out and got a new blade for it, and I put it on backwards. And boy, did we mess up that door.
We smoked that cut off and it turned black.
So these are the things that happen, Steve, when you get a Polak and an Italian working together.
Yeah, but let's see, a Polak and Italian. What are the Polacks known for? Are they the ones that do the drywall? Who does the... Oh, no, those are Canadians, right?
The Polacks are known for vodka.
Oh, yeah. That's... I should know that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's like water at the table over there.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite drinks during the summer, which is off limits now, is a screwdriver. And I'll tell you what, man, that is like drinking water when you're parched for thirst. I'm going to miss that.
Yeah, we've been known to make our martinis, our vodka martinis, kind of dry. We just normally take the cover off of the dry vermouth and wave the bottle over the glass.
There you go.
We don't drink like we used to, but me and my wife, oh my God, we had a lot of fun doing it. But she doesn't drink hardly at all. I mean, only on occasion. And I'll have a couple glasses of wine at night, but that's I get a bottle of vodka now, and it'll last me 6 months. You know, I used to go through one a week.
Hey, you guys ever do mudslides?
I've had them, but I haven't done them recently. It's a good drink.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. Had a friend. I've never made them, but I had a friend I used to do a lot of fishing with, and he used to do a lot of camping. I did too, and we'd be over at the campground, and I'd go visit him, and he'd have one of these big, water cooler type things, containers that you'd put a lot of ice and water in. He'd make up mudslides. I don't know, dude. This thing held like 2 gallons or something like that. And holy cow. Yeah, oh yeah. Hot summer day, grab your chair, go drop it in the water, drop this thing next to you with a rope on it on the arm of the chair just to keep it kind of close to you. Your butt in the water, and I'll tell you what, man, that is just, I miss that. I hadn't done... I hadn't had one of those. I haven't had one in, over 10 years, probably 10 years. And that was like a staple. And it was just ice cold. And, that thing would go down. And, yeah. But, you're talking probably 6-8 ounce glass. I would say probably 600 or 800 grams of sugar. Yeah, that's going to be off limits too, I think.
Well, you're talking what? Bailey's, Irish cream, Kahlua, and vodka. It's like drinking ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Hard to beat. You know what I got into this year? My next door neighbor
Peter,
had some eggnog.
truck drivers and carpentry.
Eggnog, and I went out and bought a half gallon. And, of course, you can only buy that stuff seasonal.
What's new, Randy?
Anyway, down
What's
here,
been going on?
I guess you can
your
buy
side
it.
of the
You
pond.
can make it. It's all made out of
or
eggs.
your side of the continent
heavy
here.
cream. I my God. But,
Thinking you're in Europe for some reason.
A little bit of whatever you want to put in
Crazy.
it, whether it be rum or whiskey and eggnog. That is some kind of a drink too, Steve. Can't be good for you, but boy, it tastes good.
Yeah, you get sorted there. You got everything lit back up there, Jerry?
Yeah, that stuff goes down like water. I've been drinking mostly red wine lately, and there goes the amp again. What the heck's going on here? That time I think it's the SWR. Okay, just snap back in here. Drinking red wine. They say you're only supposed to have like a 5-ounce pour. Well, when you put that in your wine gobbler and measure, I've done it with a measuring glass. 5 ounces, put it in a glass. You say, holy frick. This is like nothing. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. I know. What a joke, right? Well, I suppose you're not so big of a. I think. See, I was the type of person. I'd grab like a bottle of wine. I drink it right out of the bottle. With a paper bag sitting on leaning up against a wall on the street. I mean, that's the type of. I had. It's funny, because what do you call it? A bender. I go on these benders, and never during the week. I'd only do it on a weekend, but there was a period, and you know how musicians roll, right? So I was big in I was playing in groups, bands everywhere from Connecticut to up here, and you know what that's like. So, and I knew better. You know better than doing stuff like that, but you never believe you're going to get old and it's going to happen to you. It doesn't matter. What did my doctor say? He says, yeah, you're an ostrich. You're an ostrich. You walk up and find a nice sandy spot and you jam your head down in there. He said, you refuse to acknowledge what was coming. And he said, a lot of people do. And I was one of them. So you just don't think when you're younger that you'll ever have to pay the piper. You're going to be young forever, and the body doesn't work like that, does it, Frank?
No, it doesn't. That's for sure. I tell you, one of the best things I ever did was 40 years ago when I quit smoking. Oh God, I couldn't believe I started. I mean, it was stupid because I hated when I was a kid when people smoked around me. It wasn't until I got in the Navy. But I was glad that's one of the things I gave up because all my family all died of emphysema. Many of them. My mother and brothers and sisters and all of my ancestors and stuff. So that's one thing we kind of beat up early and got rid of. So that was a good thing. And I'm kind of glad that my music career ended when it did because, Steve, I was on the same path. Believe me. I mean, we used to play. Along with getting some money, it wasn't a whole lot. You get free drinks. Okay, so my God, you had to take advantage of the free drinks. Oh God Almighty! And we used to play at this Polish place, and man, they would come up with Polish and Wajnówka shots all the time for us. Jerry knows what those are. They're pretty good medicine. You can use them for everything, just about. But the Wajnówka, ooh, good stuff. Blackberry. Brandy is what it is. It's Polish. LaRue. The real good stuff. Anyway, we've kind of slowed down, and that's a good thing. I can't remember when the last time I've had a beer in the house. We used to drink a lot of beer after golf, and we don't do that anymore. And we'll drink a little bit on occasion when we have house parties. But for the most part, I don't ever want to wake up with a headache or feeling the effects of the day before. So that's the goal I set, and I pretty much stand by it, and I've stuck to it for all these years. Well, Jesus, 8:10 already. I'm going to get out of here. It's good talking to you, and Steve, hang in there. You can overcome getting old. I have. You can do it. I'm a believer. To you, and we'll say 7-3. Take care, Jerry. K1GMM, GMM, and WT1B.
Okay, Frank. Yeah, good to hear you, man. And yeah, get out, take some swings, man. Go out and have some fun. Even if you're probably not going to play like you did before, right? It may take a little time, but enjoy life. That's what I say. Enjoy every moment because you never know. And do what you can today that you know you're not going to be able to do tomorrow. We'll see you later, Frank. Have a good day. And if you talk to Paul, send him my regards. I did hear him in there, but I just couldn't pull him out. Go ahead, Jerry. K1GMM.
Roger.
Yeah, okay, Frank. We'll say 7-3. Have a good day. Do what you can today because you can't do tomorrow. All right, Steve, you talked me into it. I'm going to go find a couple 35-year-olds today.
One US.
Ah. Hey, what's going on, Mikey? You are sick, man, Jerry. That's funny. What's going on, Mike? Grab it.
Yeah, good morning to you. How you been? Jerry, I'm on the 7300. I just wanted to smoke test it. Where you did hear the 890. How's this sound?
Yeah, sounds good. Smoke test it. Geez, don't use those
man,
words,
Peter,
Mike.
that's awesome.
Yeah, you're probably right. After I said that, I bit my tongue. So the loudness, you're running 100 watts, but as far as about the same as the 890?
I think the audio's a little punchier and maybe not quite as wide, but it sounds good.
Yeah, okay. The hand mic does a good job, and all my meters here are telling me that's running pretty good. I really like the compression. And I thought that was on, but it wasn't. But that's one of those finger things, you know, the finger thing that I had a tough time trying to push the on and off button. And that's one thing about this radio. If you have big fingers, you've got a problem.
NROP.
I'll tell you, I've looked at a lot of 7300s on the Spectrum scopes, and boy, they are clean. There's hardly any upper sideband component that I'm seeing coming off your signal there. Are you seeing the same thing there, Steve?
Oh yeah. I've had many people, I can tell you, ask me when I'm on the 7300 over the past. I've had mine 4 years since it first came out. And I've had a lot of people ask me, they said, what are you on? Are you running in an on? Just because the IMD is so low. They'll be looking at it at a pan adapter, and it's literally like, if it's set up properly, and your ALC is where it's supposed. And that being said, the ALC I found on the 7300 is incredibly forgiving. I run mine at anywhere from 75 to 90%, and sometimes it just bumps the very top. I run it hot. And yet the IMD is like borderline non-existent. So I've seen more splatter on some guys, but it's because of the amplifier. They're flat topping or they're doing something wonky. At times I see more splatter on an Anon than I do on a properly set up 7300. And that's the honest to God truth. We all can see it on a pan adapter. Yeah. I mean, I agree. They're very, very clean. I was going to ask you, Mike, if you're running compression, because I can tell. I could tell immediately when you came in. I'm assuming you are. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am. I'm running the radio. Well, the mic gain is at 45, and the compression I've got it set at number 3.
Gotcha. What you may want to do, and you're on the fist mic, right?
I'm on the what now?
On the hand mic?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, what you may want to do, and this is what I found, this is why I don't use the compression on the 7300, is because it does affect the audio. Immediately, I could tell you were running compression because the audio is not as clean as it normally is on a 7300. I know right away, but you are like 20 to 30 over. I got an armchair on you, man, so I can tell. But, for rag chewing, if the band, this is what I do. And you can take it for what it's worth. For rag chewing, if somebody tells me like I'm, 30 over, 20 or 30 over, I do not run compression because the audio is so much cleaner. I find the compression on the 7300 makes it dirty. But that being said, if I'm running, if I'm DXing or working an event, if I didn't have the rack on the 7300, I would definitely run maybe 5 dB of compression on that, and it just smooths out the dynamics and the signal enough without kind of crunching up the audio. You kind of see what I'm saying? Just to help in crowded environments in QSB, but it definitely helps. I found if people are struggling to hear you, we all know that. Anyways, I'm preaching to the choir, but that's just what I found on the 7300. Rag chewing with an armchair copy, yeah, I would shut that off. Over.
Okay, what do you run your mic gain at?
Well, the problem is I'm running a rack, so my mic gain, I have a 20 dB pad inserted between the rack and the radio, and I've never actually used the fist mic on the 7300. I had all the gear here, so I just patched it the minute I bought the radio. And I run the mic gain at 100%, and then I control the drive level using compression and limiting on the rack because it's non-destructive. In other words, it doesn't affect the audio quality. You can tell if I were to shut the compression off, you'll hear the dynamics go wild. The limiting, it's mostly limiting. I think I'm running, what am I running? About a 3 or 4 to 1 on compression. So most of it is limiting, just to take out the transients to keep the ALC from getting smoked. That's the problem with running a rack. So I would say run it, with a fist mic. Just run it wherever. It's very forgiving, I found. Nobody will tell. If you're bumping the top on that, nobody will tell. I'm telling you. You won't see it on the pan adapter. If you really crush it and you run it in the red, yeah, IMD will probably go up. But that's just what I found. Because before I put the pad in, I'll tell you, dude, it was like taking a nitromethane funny car engine and jamming it into a Volkswagen Beetle. It was untamable, just uncontrollable signal hitting the ALC. So once the pad went in place, and I brought it allowed me to bring the ALC up to 100%, and then I could, but it's padded down, and then I brought in some limiting. It kind of snapped everything into shape, so. It's very forgiving, I found. If people tell you you've got IMD on your signal, most likely something seriously foobarred.
Okay, very good. Any difference now at all? And Jerry, maybe you can comment. I made a change, but how does it sound now?
Did you take the compression off? Much cleaner.
I did take it. Shut it right off.
Yep, huge difference for rag chewing. Oh yeah, dude, that's the way to fly. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a personal preference. I mean, I like the sound of the compression. Of course, not overdone. Of course, there goes my SWR again. It must be.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that ROPB.
Anyway, hey,
do you have a call sign just for giggles? F5 IPE, Patrick. Hey, good morning or good afternoon over in France. Okay, Jerry. Yeah, you have a good day, man. Good to hear you. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, hang on just a minute. Apparently I got a problem here now.
Sounds like your monitor is on its feet. It's looping. Did you check the monitor function on the 73?
Yep, that's what it was. My big finger was happened to hit it. Hang on just a minute. Yeah, that's what it was. I got the compression back on. Yeah, I got too big of a fingers, and every time I hit something else. So, Jerry 73 is there. Thank you for the test there. And it is raining up here. Temperature is 38 degrees, and it's been climbing. Wind is blowing pretty good. So, I backed the truck out of the garage, and I'm getting a free car wash.
Dude, good idea. Good idea. You know what I thought of this morning, because the truck is covered with salt and sand and everything. It's snowing here, but it's very, very wet, and nothing's sticking to the road. I think above 2,000 feet, they're getting killed, dude, because I'm actually got a situation where I've had snow static. I could hear it, and I was like, what the heck is that noise? It's like a popcorn sound. It was just steady. And then it would kind of subside for a little bit, and I realized, I got snow static build up on the loop. So I've got a little work to do. I do not have a bleed resistor, nor is it grounded. Stupid. And that's making its way back into the shack, or at least I can hear it. So I've got to unplug shortly here in a little while. Don't hear it now, so I don't know what's going on outside. But I actually thought of that. Thought, geez, I should take the truck up the road. This is about 5:30 this morning. Let the water kind of get in there and just rinse everything off. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's. We had a little snow, just a very little, and then temperature has been going up and up. So I don't think we're going to get much. I've been just hearing 1 to 3 tonight, but during the day it's going to be, I guess, rain. That's okay with me.
Yeah, I'm going to address your question here if you're still with me. I'll go through it quick.
Picked up my Mega Millions this morning, picked up some gas for the snowblower.
In our OPB.
And, came back, so hopefully the rain will wash.
Mikey, what's up, dude?
All the mud and salt and whatever is on it. So I don't. No sense taking it to a car wash because it's like $10-12, and then time you get it home, it's just as dirty. So. But I got the compression on, so I'll leave it on anyway. And I've got it turned down to a 3, and maybe I think that's a good setting.
Yeah, run with it. Watch your meter. I found that it can be very touchy. I'm not telling you what to do. Of course, everybody, set it up however you like it. But that's just what I found. It's funny because when you have, you're bumping 30 over, man. You're just crushing it in here right now. So I can hear everything. I can still tell compression is on. I'm trying to think of I'm going to light the 7300 up here. Hold on. Yeah. I was running, I think I run between 5 and 10 dB of compression on the meter. If you press and hold on your signal meter up in the top left corner of the display there, where I have mine set up so when I key up the ALC goes on if the pan adapter is actually on the front. But if you press and hold that, it will open all of your meters, which I think you probably know. And I watched that level meter on the it says dB, I think, for compression, or was it say compression, something like that. And I watched that, and I try not to go above 10, and it doesn't take much. Once you get over that, it's just it just goes into the crunch zone. Over.
Red bar showing up, and the compression halo runs about from 0 to 20. It hits the 20 mark.
Ooh, I'm sorry, I doubled with you. Okay, you may want to roll that back some more. That's pretty brutal, dude. I usually run mine when I run it during events. I'll run it maybe bumping 10 dB. Anywhere from 5 to 10 dB of compression is plenty adequate. That's probably why it's affecting your audio. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but I can definitely tell you're running it because it goes into the crunch zone. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where you can set it. I think mine is set to either 1 or 2, and that gives me about 10 dB of compression at most. Usually kind of floats between 5 and 10 there, Mike. Over.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, I'm about 15 now, and that's on number 2 on the compression.
Yep, a little bit cleaner. Hit me again. I'll watch. The band is really good, so I'll see. This one thing you may be able to, if you can get somebody who's got a really good copy on you, and there's no QSB on the band. You can toggle it on and off, and it will tell you, they'll be able to tell you, I could tell you probably, how smooth the signal how it is smoothed out because that's what I found. It really helps in the QSB. A lot of times I don't run power. I'm just running barefoot, and I'll tell you, man, the compression does help because it helps hold you in the QSB. It'll help hold that up out of the noise. Over.
Okay, well, I'm running the mic gain at 45%. Maybe I should turn that up. But right now I've got the compression on number 2. I'll just turn it to number 1. So it's on 2, 2, 2, 2, and I'll turn it to 1. Okay, there's number 1 on the compression, and hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, it's peaking between, a 10, maybe a 15.
Okay, that's not bad. Now, where's your ALC running on that?
ALC is right to the end of the mark of that red line. It is they're all blue boxes. They might pop up one red box, but it's right to the end.
Okay, this is another thing I found. So as I increase compression, the mic gain becomes critical. You will see the ALC kind of jump around a little bit more. It'll get a little hotter. I've had to roll my ALC back a little bit. Hit me one more time and I'll look at the IMD.
Yeah, okay. Compression is still on number one, and the mic gain is at 45%.
Okay, it's definitely cleaner. I can tell you rolled it back. Try bringing the ALC back so it's running anywhere from 90 to, see if you can get it to kind of hover around that 90% mark on that scale.
Let's see, 1, 2, 9. What do you mean 90? I don't know. It's right to the end. Oh, I see. Well, if I turn the compression back one more, it's going to be off.
Oh no! I mean the mic gain, to get your ALC. Are you running power right now?
No, just 100 watts. All right, so I'm at 45% on the mic gain. What do you want me to turn it up to?
Okay, try rolling it back to 42.
Okay, W1 US on the frequency. There's 42.
Okay, virtually no difference. Still 30 over on signal strength. I'm watching the IMD. What I suspect is the compression creates a certain level of IMD. You do have some unusual IMD on the signal. Of course, you're so freaking strong, it's probably going to be there anyways. But this is kind of a test for me as well. I'm kind of curious about this because I've never really looked at it. Hit it again and watch your ALC and see where that goes up to on that, where it's supposed to be, anywhere in that scale. Tell me where it's showing.
Yeah, okay, ALC. Now there's no more red mark. Well, there is if I say a certain word, but from the ALC, it goes to that red line right to the very end. And I am seeing like one box of red.
Okay, bring it back to 40.
Okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, still, I don't see any red boxes now. Once in a while, but they're all blue boxes right to the end.
Okay, yep, you really don't want to go into the red. Just for giggles, remember that 40 mark, bring it down to about 37.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there's, I don't see any red boxes at all. Nothing.
Okay. So here's the gist of what's going on. Assuming you take QSB out of the equation, you lost by going down to that mark from, let's say, 40 to 42, you lost about, on peaks, between 6 and 10 dB of signal strength. So yes, that will have an impact. I notice no difference in IMD between bringing it down that low. See, that's what I mean. It's very forgiving. Bringing it down that low or running it like let's say 42, where you get an occasional bump into the red. So you did lose a little drive, which is interesting. Or as far as maybe it has to do with a little bit, the compression is lower now because you're not driving as hard. Your ALC is lower. And it's not giving you those peaks of 30 over because you peaked at about 20 over last time, 20 to 22, 23. So you did lose some. So there you go, man. You can kind of extrapolate from that. Don't take it as gospel, but that's just what I'm seeing, Mike. Over. K1GMM.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed some of that. The wife was just talking to me. So, all right. So, as far as changing, should I move the compression up to 2?
Okay. You just peaked 30 over. 30 over. Did you move anything since the previous over?
Nothing. I haven't touched anything.
Okay. Hit me again one more time with a little bit longer over, and I'll repeat portions of what I said.
Okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, my compression is running from about peaks about between 10 and 15. And once in a while it hits the 15, but it's more on the 10 mark. It does hit 15. So the compression's on 1, and the mic gain's at 37. W1US here.
Okay, looks like we've got some QSB on the band. You actually clipped 40 over, believe it or not. And then QSB took you back down to 20. So can't go any further from here. Here's what I said before. I think the IMD has to do with signal strength, not necessarily what you're doing, because the IMD increased when you clipped 40 over. Right, so and I've seen that before with stations where I have an incredibly strong signal on. It's just the nature of the beast. Even on an Anons and stuff like that, I've seen that flexes, stuff, rigs that are properly set up. It's just the strength of the signal, So, yeah. What did I say before? So basically, what I was seeing was. My gut told me, and what I was seeing was that there was very little difference between lowering your ALC back to within the recommended range. In IMD, I think that has more to do with signal strength, but a couple of minutes ago when you were talking, just before you talked to the wife, I was saying, when I was listening to you and I was watching it, it looked like you lost a little bit of drive. So it was the difference. It looked like about 6 to 10 dB at times of drive forward signal strength when you lowered it to that point. And so, yeah, I mean. My recommendation would be to keep the ALC from bumping into the red if you can, but it's not going to kill you. You know what I mean? I really didn't see any difference in IMD. I didn't hear any difference in audio quality. And the really big thing to watch for is, yes, you will lose a little bit of signal. In other words, the smoothness of the signal. In QSB, you'll see much more drastic dynamics in the signal strength on the receiving end with a lower compression, right? So it's kind of if I were me personally, if I told, let's say I was talking to you and you said, "Oh man, dude, you're like 30 over here," or clipping 40 over, I would kick the compression right out. I would look at the ALC, and you may have to just open the menu and just kick the ALC, kick the mic gain up just a little bit to get it back up. Because your mic gain, your ALC will drop most likely when you disengage the compression. You see where I'm going? And it will really, the audio goes crystal clear and clean. But even that 5 to 10 dB of compression, you can tell. Is it a pain in the arse? Yeah. Is it worth it? Pfft, that's a personal choice. Over.
Okay, so yeah, I can see on the meter on the ALC there's no red. Absolutely, once in a while, but not very often. It's right there. So to put a nail into it, could I turn the mic gain up and turn the compression up to 2 and leave it?
I would try bumping push the compression up to 2 right now and see what happens without touching the mic gain.
Okay, yeah, there's number 2. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I would go any more with that. I think it's pretty solid there.
Yep. And what was your compression level running at on the meter? Was it between 10 and 15 still? Probably a little higher, I would imagine, right?
No, I would say it's well, about a 10, and at times it clips to a 15.
Okay, and your ALC is where? Still about the same?
Yeah, the ALC's, there's no red, and it's right there at there's that red mark underneath. It goes right to the end of that, but there's no red at all.
Yeah, man, I would run with that, to be honest with you. Your signal is very consistent and stable, and there was no difference in audio quality that I heard. I can tell you're running compression, but there's no difference, and it's still very clean. So if it were me, man, I'd run with that. I'd just go ahead and run with it. If you get in a difficult environment where there's sharp QSB and it's a very crowded band, and you hear what I always do is if I hear someone say, there's QSB. Yeah, I've got you a 5.9 in QSB, or there's QSB on your signal or something. Yeah, then I'll put the friggin' take it out to the woodshed and give it a good beating. I may bump the compression one notch just to help hold the signal up. But yeah, I mean, it sounds good to me. If you want to run with that as a general setting, I'd be very happy with that. It's working for you. Over.
Okay, and leave the mic gain at 37%.
Yep. If that's keeping the ALC where it's supposed to be, yeah, and like I said, yeah, it's a very forgiving radio. I've run mine. God, dude, I can't tell you how many hundreds and thousands of hours with the ALC just bumping into the red, and I've never had anybody tell me I was splattering all over the place. So, I think there was another station in there. Go ahead and grab it. This is K1GMM on the key with W1US.
All right, good morning, guys. This is Robert into AIO. I've been listening. I haven't been really paying attention. Well, I shouldn't say that. With the signals, the band is up and down slightly. Hopefully you're hearing me. I'm down in New Jersey. Named November 2 Alpha India Oscar. Anyway, his audio definitely sounds better when dropped down the mic gain and the compression. It was definitely too much. It sounds clean now. I figured I offer that. And as far as the signal, with the compression on and off, I'm not hearing much of a difference. He's maybe a 9, sometimes 10 over here, so it's not super strong, but I'm not seeing much of a difference on and off or hearing that much of a difference. But much better since dropping the mic gain and the compression. Over.
Can you hear him, Mike?
What's that? Yeah, that's Robert, I think is your name. Thank you for that. And I'll just leave the settings right here. I can see that the ALC is running really good, and the compression is 10, but maybe 15. But it's not like what it was bouncing into the 20s, so it's worked out good. I'm going to jump out here and speak to the wife and all that, kind of get going here. So I want to thank you, Steve, for helping me out, and I'll leave the settings right there where it is.
Okay, Mike. Yeah. Hey, no problem. I do what I can, and like I said, take it with a grain of salt. But I did have a 30 over on you, and that was confirmed by Robert. He heard the same thing. So 7-3, buddy. We'll catch you later. And speaking of splatter, some guy just beneath us is splattering over 10K wide. These guys need to stop flat topping. They push these amps too hard. They need to learn how to run an amplifier. I don't know why they do that. You do not need to run a 1.5 kW amplifier at 1.6 kW. You will flat top it and you will splatter 10 to 20K wide. That's exactly what he's doing. I don't understand. So anyways, we'll put it down to you, Robert. I guess you can hear me. I'm going to duck out as well because it was very difficult to copy you with that splatter in there. So thanks for jumping in, man. Jump in anytime. Usually there's a group in here on 615. You got a good signal in. I'm up here in Vermont, southwestern Vermont, about 15 miles north of Manchester. And I'm actually pushing a live stream to YouTube on the K1GMM YouTube channel right now. So if you, unfortunately, with a splatter, you're going to have a hard time. But if you want to hear what you sound like, you can. It's going to be towards the end of the stream because I'm just about ready to pull the plug. Down to you, Robert, and hope you have a good day, man, and a belated Happy New Year. And don't be a stranger. Jump in anytime. Usually guys are in here anywhere from 5 a.m. to now. Guys jumping in and out. Down to you, Robert. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And 7-3 from K1GMM Steve up here in Vermont.
Okay, very good, Steve. And I know the other gentleman's name in the call, but anyway, you're see, there's QSB, and that's why you saw his signal up and down a little bit. And sorry, I'm only doing 100 watts. I assume you're doing a bit more. Well, you sound good and you're nice and clean. The only other thing I wanted to comment was I assume you're using a hand mic, and it sounds like it's like talking straight into it. And I hear a little puffing. And what I normally do is I talk kind of into the top of it, and it gets rid of the puffing. Anyway, I know you said you hear me pretty good up there. I'm using a 7300 here, and I'm using an RE320 into a DBX 286F. So I was just curious, before you go, if you could just comment on my audio before you go, Steve. Over.
Okay, yeah, Robert. No, it sounds great. Very, very smooth, very flat, and very articulate. Really I couldn't fault it in any way. Like I always say, I don't like critiquing someone's audio. I don't do it. Usually my first comment is, what do you want to sound like? I'm actually running an Anon 200 and big into the ESSB side of the hobby. I'm in on 3630 with a group. I was in there this morning. We usually run about 8K wide, and a lot of killer ESSB voodoo stations in there, and that's kind of what I play with here as well. But no, you're incredibly smooth and absolutely crystal clear. Over.
K2OZ.
Hey, good morning, Danny. All right, very good. I appreciate the feedback, Steve. Very good. Oh, let me shut the 2-meter thing off there. Anyway, I know you want to get out of here, so I just wanted to jump in and make those comments and ask for your report. Anyway, I'll let you go, and then we'll turn it over to Danny. Right, one more time back to you, Steve, and to EAO.
Okay, Robert, no problem. Good morning, Danny. I hope you're doing well there. I'm up here in southwestern Vermont. Name is Steve, and the call's Kilo 1 Golf Mike. 7-3, guys, frequency's all yours. I'm going to step out, and I got to address some questions on the stream here. 7-3, and I'll stick it over to you, Danny, if you can hear me. And yeah, you're about 5 to 10 over, and if the splatter wasn't there, I have a very low noise floor. And otherwise, it would be a very quiet band this morning. So I'd have pretty much an armchair copy, but down below is causing a little bit of strife. We'll see you all later. Danny, all yours, buddy. K1GMM.
Yes, Steve, I want to say hello to you, too, so don't run away. I know we worked, God knows how long ago. You were giving me a good signal report when I was on another radio, my FT2000, going through some audio equipment. Do you remember that? Over.
Oh gosh, yeah. You're the Danny. Oh yeah, that thing was cracking, dude. I remember.
Okay, your opinion. I'm on an older radio. I mean, a real old radio. This is an FT1000D. It looks like it just came out of the box. I didn't use it in over a year. So I said, let me use it a little bit. Now I'm going through some audio equipment, but I tailored it to this radio because it's strictly analog and it just does not pass the audio. I wonder how it sounds to you. What I did do, actually I didn't do it. I took it to my friend Dave, WO2X, a good couple of years ago, and he adjusted the carrier set points. But I am using some outboard audio equipment
just to tailor it just a little bit. Do you know of the radio? Over.
I do not, Danny. I don't. I'm not familiar with it. The best thing I could do is to go to YouTube and type in K1GMM, and this is going to post. This is going to be a big stream. I've been running this for a couple hours, easy. So it's going to take a bit to render, but go right to the tail end. You're about 15 over in here, and there is a station splattering over top of you at times, so it's going to be a little rugged, but you'll get an idea. I'm not sure how wide you're running. I was down around... I reeled it in. What was I running? About 3 kilohertz wide, and I pulled it out to about 3.8 just a second ago. You can. I'll leave it there, and when you hit me with the next over, if you go to the end of the video, you'll know exactly what's going on. Audio is fantastic, absolutely smooth, not too bright, perfect articulation. I would swear you were on a very modern rig, to be honest with you, and very easy on the ears and to listen to. But like I said to Robert, I don't know what you're going for. So you can go from there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to sound decent. That the radio's been sitting, maybe a little over a year. It's a big, bulky radio. Old Yaesu, it was quite expensive at the time. But I said, let me use it a little bit. It puts out a good 200 watts. And my antenna's not the greatest, Steve. It's a G5RV, and that has to be worked on, too. But you sound good. And like I said, the only thing that was done to the radio was carrier set points adjusted.
NROPB.
But I am going through some outboard audio equipment. The mic is a PR40, and I just tailored it to this particular radio. But I don't think it doesn't pass the audio like the other, the newer models. But thank you for that info, Steve. I think you wanted to run, so I'll let you go. Good to talk to you, and I'll jump in here more often. I know you hang out on 3815 in the mornings. Hope you guys are being safe and everything is okay at your end. And by the way, Happy New Year. I haven't talked to you in a while. K1GMM, K2OZ.
Yeah, K2OZ, K1GMM, and the small group in the trio. Great to hear you, man. You too, Robert. Good to hear you. And we'll catch you later. I'm going to duck out. I got to address a question in the stream. He's been very, very patient, and he asked me a question probably about 45 minutes ago. So let me take care of that, and then I'm going to shut down for a while. 7-3 guys, have a great day, and awesome to hear you there, Danny. We got to touch base at some point. I'm gonna be starting to just put out some calls if I don't find one of the usual groups around in the evenings on 75 meters. So down here, down in the lower section, 36 to 37. And I'll just throw out some calls and see who I can round up. So if you hear me in there, man, jump in anytime. Would love to chat with you. We'll catch you guys later. I'll stick it down to Robert, and I'm going to go ahead and clear out. 7-3 K1GMM.
All right, very good, Steve. Good to meet you. Sound fabulous down here. And your non is great radio. I haven't heard a bad one yet, I don't think. And take care. I'm actually trying to listen on your stream. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I don't hear any audio over here, so I have a feeling I'm doing something wrong. Anyway, don't worry about answering. It's okay. It's all good. You have a great day. And good morning, Danny. I hope all is well. Into AIO.
Yeah, okay, Robert. Good to hear from you. I'm glad you popped in there. Just had my...
All righty. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to walk you through. I'm not going to go too deep because I don't think that's practical. So let me get over. And I explained this before to people, but I know there's newcomers and people don't really know what's happening. So there's a picture of what's going on here. It's the best I can muster right now. This is the Anon. 200D. All right. So what I have, I had a Behringer, and I'll walk you through exactly how I have this put together. All right. So I have the Behringer. I had a Behringer, what's it called, an Ultra Gain? I think it's the Ultra Gain. It's a 2 preamp, which the phantom power went out on it. All right, so I took that out of line. The Behringer is pretty much the bottom of the line of equipment, and it's good. I run, as you can see, a lot of Behringer stuff, and this other stuff has been good, but I've had a lot of failures of other Behringer equipment. I don't know why. It doesn't last very long. So, anyways, microphone. This is a very underrated mic. It's a perfect mic for my voice and ESSB work in Voodoo Audio. Phenomenal. It's a CAD GXL 2200. CAD GXL 2200. It's a large diaphragm studio condenser. It requires phantom power. From there, it goes into right here. This is an ART, which you can't really see it. This is an ART MP Studio preamp. Great preamp for this type of stuff. Cheap. You can buy them usually around $30 used, worth every penny. I've had that for years, probably close to a decade, and it's never failed me. Does have phantom power. From there, it goes into my EQs. This is the Ultragraph, Behringer Ultragraph. The top EQ is for the Anon. Bottom EQ is for the 7300. All right. From there, it goes into an Aphex 204 oral exciter with optical big bottom. It is the heart and soul of the Voodoo Audio and ESSB system. All right. Without that, it sucks. I shouldn't say that because it's still pretty good. But the Aphex equipment is killer for this type of work. You don't need the 204. You probably only need a single channel, but because I run 2 independent rigs here, it comes in very handy. So 204, and then from there it goes into a Composer Pro XL, which is a Behringer. It's a compressor limiter. It has an expander and a noise gate, as well as a de-esser and the limiting function at the final stage. So what I run on this is probably, I'll have to look. It looks like I'm running about a 2-to-1 compression. Not a lot of compression, more limiting than compression. And I do run a de-esser. And I have the de-esser function on. How well it works, I don't know. And it also has a noise gate. So that's why you hear it go quiet when I stop talking as of now. So noise gate is engaged, which helps a lot. And as far as picking up room ambient noise, I have a lot of fans running. I have a fan running, 2 fans running on the Anon, which is about 12 to 14 inches away from the back of the microphone. I have an amplifier running, which is fairly loud. So I'll put that in standby right now because I don't need that. And, okay, from there, I go into a virtualizer. This is a Behringer Virtualizer 3D. All right, and what I do with that is I run a very, it's not a very long, but it's a plate reverb. And what that does is it gives me a little natural room ambience because I have a lot of damping material on this room to quiet it down. And I'm not a big fan of that pillow talk. You know what I mean? Where most people, and I'm referring only to the ESSB side of the hobby and the Voodoo Audio. It brings it into a different, it just puts a little bit of a finishing touch on it. You get a little bit of, you don't want a lot because you don't want it to sound like you're in a friggin' cathedral or something like that. But, you know, if I say check, 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 you hear that quick little reverb going on there. When I'm talking, it just makes it a little bit more spacious. It makes it sound a little bit better to my ears. Now, keep in mind, this is all subjective. It's how I want to sound. So, for the Anon, I use a VAC. Well, I should say, let me back up. What I'm doing with the Anon is I'm using, right here is the M Audio Air 192.4. All right, and this is a 2-channel preamp external sound card. Runs at 192 kilohertz. Very, very good. very good sounding. And this is where the audio is coming from. That's piped to the Anon, and it goes to the stream. All right. So what I need to figure out right now is I need to figure out how to split the audio from the stream to the Anon, because what you're hearing is actually what's going out on the Anon, and it's a little extreme for the stream. I'd like it flatter for the stream. The problem is OBS is giving me fits because I can't run two independent sound cards with OBS on two independent channels, so I can EQ out all the processing that I've done with the Anon. Right now they're mixed. The two signals are mixed. Excuse me. And I need to figure that out. I know I can do it through a VAC and through Voice Meter Banana, but I cannot get that figured out. It's pissing me right off. So what I really need, I think, is a mixer. I need a mixer. In the stage where what I can do is I can bring the audio out of the preamp, right, to the audio for the stream. I can come directly out of the preamp to the mixer and then bring all the audio in and re-EQ it, EQ it a little bit. It'll be independent. However, the problem I have is that there will be no noise gate. So if I were to take out the noise gate, this is what you'd hear. Hear that? So that's what you'd hear. So I got to have a noise gate. So whatever I do, I'd have to have a noise gate patched in with the patched into the audio feed to the stream, so you don't pick that stuff up. So that's with the noise gate engaged, and you can tell. And you always want your reverb side to be post noise gate, because otherwise the reverb will be cut off. So wherever you place your final effect in, as far as like if you're running any kind of reverb or anything like that, make sure it goes in post noise gate. Otherwise it's going to shut it right down, and it's going to be null and void, and there won't even be any point in running it. So that's the situation here. Hopefully that explains things a little bit. Let's see. Monitors, why did you use VAC? Yeah, I don't quite understand your question. Why does it use VAC when audio blocks are running? Well, the VAC, see, now keep in mind, let me, if I think I know where you're going with that. So there's two approaches. I'm a rack type person. I like my knobs and buttons, right? So actually, hold on a second. Let me check. Okay, so I brought the Anon out of the mix, so this is just straight audio, and it did change my level a little bit. So there's two approaches to this whole thing when it comes to getting ESSB and Voodoo audio pushed to a transceiver. You can either do it using VAC and a digital audio workstation called a DAW, where all of the processing is done in the computer, and it's all piped to the transceiver via VAC if the transceiver has the capability to do that, which the Anon does. That is how I do it with the Anon. Now, you can bring analog audio into the back of the Anon. That's an option, but I just chose to have all the audio going through the VAC. However, I am running the external sound card, which brings the audio into the Anon digitally, but I am not running a DAW. I like my rack. I like my knobs, buttons, sliders, you name it. I'm a very tactile type person, and I'm an old school when it comes to this stuff. So that's the reason why a lot of guys, if they use a VAC, they're doing it all in the computer via DAW. So that's basically, you can approach it from two different ways. Is there an element of control that's better? DAWs are very powerful, however, they're very complex. So the learning curve is fairly extensive, I think, to learn the software and everything else. For some people, for me it is. That's another reason why I stick with the rack. I'm an analog guy. What can I say? So hopefully that answers your question there, and I'm going to duck out. 7-3, everybody. Anybody who's still in the chat, have a great day. I may be back later, playing radio all weekend. I know the NAQP is going, and hopefully I'm going to take a look around and see what's going on. And one of you guys posted way back, said that there was a CME or something like that hit last night. So that may really screw the bands up for the day. So we'll see. Anyways, catch you later. Have a great one, guys. Thanks for checking in. This is K1GMM in the ditch. And I'm going sideways. Actually, I'm going upstairs. We'll see y'all later.